Okay, good morning, everybody. I'm Vince with Listings to Leads, and this is our call. It's kind of our second rollout call for our platform for your office with REMAX. Um, so this time we're not going to focus so much on Facebook because Robin said she's really giving you guys a hand on that, and that's great. So I'm going to cover some of the core tools, and also it's always a little bit of a funny experience doing this call because you don't have speakers, so I can't hear your questions. But if you have questions, just put them in the chat panel there. But I want to point out something, a couple things in our mastermind group, and I'm also going to talk about getting you in the mastermind group. And could you tell me, Robin, if you can get a show of hands of what percentage of people do you think are in our mastermind group already? It's a secret group, but you do have to be, you should be there. So while you're finding that out, I'm going to read this to you. And it says best practice. This came in on February 21st, is just a few days ago. And he says, I've been using L2L for 30 days, impressed, results. But here's something that he just figured out what to do. And, only one. Okay. Oh, got it. Okay, great. All right. So he's saying, that he's putting his branded virtual tour on Zillow and Realtor.com, and he's getting a bunch of views. And actually, he says down here, further in the comments, that he's got like 123 views and 3 people saved. And what that means is we have a lot of tools inside of our system, right? And we're generating them automatically, and they are designed to capture leads for you. And if you don't know how to use the tools, they don't really do anything. They just sit in your account and look cool, and maybe or maybe not that you log in and look at them. But if you actually take them and put them out on in various areas, you're going to get a lot of activity. And that post is talking about a virtual tour. So let's look at that. I've actually gone into the listing section of my account, and this is like you all have your own listings page too. And the listings come in automatically, and we start updating a bunch of tools. And let's look at the just listed branded virtual tour. Now, the branded virtual tour is one of those tools that gets automatically emailed to you. And it's actually looks like a hyperlink like this in an email. And it comes with some other tools. But the point of that, I'm just going to click it and open it, is that it is a slide, kind of a pan and zoom virtual tour from the photos that are flowing in from your MLS. Okay. And what's great, if you notice here, it says stay on top of this, right? And so for me to continue looking at this, I have to click continue with Facebook or give you my email address. People click continue with Facebook so fast, it's ridiculous. And you see this little window pop up. And here I'm asking for the phone number. You don't have to ask for it. And this allows the consumer to be back on the page, right? It says thank you, and then it sort of restarts. That is how we capture leads. That's one of the many ways we capture leads from listings to leads. And for most agents, they get this virtual tour and they think, great, I'm going to share it with my owner, or maybe I'll put it on my social media or things like that. And that's a cool thing to do. But it's actually maybe you're leaving one important thing off, and this guy here is talking about it. And that is to put this branded virtual tour on your listings on Zillow and Trulia and Realtor.com if you can, wherever you can think of it. And here it is. You just copy this link up here, click copy and go. And the reason is your listings are probably automatically going to Zillow and Trulia. And you know that if I see a home for sale on Zillow and Trulia, it's going to be, let's kind of just look at it, right? Let's go to Lafayette Homes for Sale. Lafayette. And we'll look at what happens. And you guys kind of know this, but it's good just for us to see it so it sinks in. Zillow right here. So when I look at that, crikey, a condo is at 1.5 million. That's crazy. But let's just click on that and see what's going on. Oh, it's right by the reservoir. Jeez, I need to buy over there. When you see a property on Zillow. Many times when somebody, this is actually allowing, somehow he's got it locked out, but many times when leads are captured on these sites like Realtor.com and Trulia, you are, even though you're the listing agent, you may not be getting that lead, okay? And sometimes if you do get the lead, 3 other agents get the lead at the same time, which is always a bit of a rub, you know, for a lot of people, because it's their listing and they really want the lead. And that's really what we're about, is it's your listing. And if you want the lead, use our tools and we'll send leads back to you. So here's another property, new construction. So that's not a good example, but I know you're probably familiar with the fact that when you fill out a lead form here, it usually goes to 4 different agents, right? And so there are areas in here where you can actually showcase other tools, like a website that is unique for that, and a virtual tour. And that's what this client is doing. He's taking our branded virtual tour and putting it on his listings out there. And so when people are clicking on it and they find interest in it, instead of asking this KB Home Builder something, they just click on, right, visit the Town Center website. You can actually put a link. And so what he's done, and he's putting it here and just saying, I'm getting, you know, a bunch of leads for free, is he puts the branded virtual tour inside the virtual tour box on that page. And he also puts the single property website, and I'll show that to you. For the same property, single property website looks almost identical to the virtual tour. And he puts that there. So this has like static images, right? So that's a great thing to do. And it's awesome. This guy's only been with us for 30 days. So, you know, it took him a while to figure out how to do that. So I want to kind of talk about how you find out the core things that you should be doing with our system. Number one thing is you should join our mastermind group, okay? And after the call, I'm going to send you some instructions on how to join the mastermind group. But before I send those to you, I'm going to show you right now how you join, all right? First of all, you log into your Facebook account. And it doesn't matter if you're in your business or personal page, just click this triangle up here. And it opens a menu called Settings, or just opens this menu, and click on Settings here. And you'll be in a general account settings, and there's going to be a primary, it says contact primary, and there's an email address. That's the email address that Facebook has for you. Copy that email address, go into your listings to leads account and click contact support. And just put that address right here and say, hey, please add me to the mastermind group. Our clients, that is a secret group on Facebook only for our clients, and our clients are sharing ideas that are generating leads for them all the time. Our clients, agents like you, typically can generate hundreds of leads every month as long as they use the tools. And sometimes it helps if you see what other people are doing. But another important reason why you want to be in our mastermind group is that little thing I showed you that we started the call with about, hey, you know, I put my virtual tour on Zillow and Trulia. You know, you might think, well, how did he think of that? And he maybe didn't think of that, or maybe he did. But right here under Files, you will see something called Vinny's Cheat Sheet right here at the bottom. And that is like a how to use our platform that I set up, you know, a while ago for people because they don't quite know, what do I do with listings to leads, right? Now, right here it says how to market your listings. And excuse me, you can do this if you borrow listings or if you have your own listings and get them inside the system, and then we start generating a bunch of tools. In this video right here, we'll show you step by step how to do that. But I'm going to kind of read this to you, and I'm going to show you what we're talking about, right? So that you can watch this video or we can kind of learn together right here. First, choose the right lead generation links to your site. Use the green button on chain link for each listing. What does that mean? What are lead generation links? Lead generation links are these links on the left-hand side, okay? And when your tools get out there, we create a single property website, we create a virtual tour, we create blog posts we create e-flyers and Facebook tools to market your home. And every one of those have multiple hyperlinks on the left that we call lead generation links, right? So if somebody doesn't want this home because it doesn't look right and they don't want two-story, they can click other homes in the area and be taken away from our tool and driven to your website. Okay, now that's not my website, but you kind of get the point. You can change that. So in the call in the mastermind group, the first thing it says is choose the right lead generation links for your website. So, and when it also, sorry to be going back and forth here, it says use the green button with the chain link on it for each listing. So every listing has an area we call lead gen links, right? And this one here, let's just say this, I'll click this one in Covington. If I click that green button, it shows me all of the lead generation links I have in my account. I have some, for Naples, from homes from 100 to 300K, Lafayette homes under 500K. What is your home worth, obviously? And search all homes is a link that I always want on every listing. So I always want search all homes, and I always want what is your home worth on every ad that I have, on every listing that I have. But then based on where this property is, maybe the home is for sale in Lafayette, or maybe the home is for sale in Danville. These are different price points in those towns, and they're different towns, right? They're different neighborhoods in it. So you might want links that speak to that particular listing. Conversely, you don't have to use links. And so if people want the home, great. But you should probably know this, and it's almost common sense. 1 out of 400 people that sees your home online, when they see it for sale on Zillow or Trulia, 1 out of 400 people actually want your home, right? The rest of the people are like, that's not going to work for me, right? I want something else. So they're just clicking next, and they're going to the next home, and you've lost it. But if there's any remote interest in that property, they can actually click into it and say, oh, I want to see the virtual tour, or I want to see the single property website. And then you're taking them away from those sites, getting them on a site like this. And then the next thing they can say is, well, that home doesn't work, but let's look at the other homes for sale in Lafayette or whatever your town is, right? The last thing I'll say is about lead gen links. Let's see if I got that open still. I lost it. You notice that I have price points in there, and I've kind of mentioned that. Lafayette homes under 500K, Naples home. Links like that get clicked on really fast, because when we're looking for homes for sale, none of us, well, most of us, do not have an unending budget, right? Where we can just spend whatever we want. As long as it looks nice and I like it, I'm going to buy it, right? No. I've only got 500, K to buy a home, or I've got 100 or 300 or 700. That's why you want to create links with those price points, because that's how people think, and they'll click very quickly when they look at a home and say, oh, you know what, that's not going to work for me. And if there's something that says Haiku homes or Lafayette homes under 500K, I'm going to click that pretty quickly. And then ideally, when they click that, it drops them on your website showing the homes at that price. So that's how you add them. And let's kind of go through the Covington one real quick. And I'm going to say search all homes. I'm going to get rid of this Lafayette homes. I'm going to show you Lafayette homes under 500K. What is your home worth? Do I have another Lafayette? Yeah, Lafayette homes. Let's do that again. This home is not in Lafayette, but we'll talk through it. Okay. And then just save it at the bottom. And I'm going to have Lafayette homes for sale. Well, I'll put search all homes for sale, then Lafayette homes and Lafayette homes under 500K. Then what is your home worth? Save and close. Now this home is actually in Covington, so Lafayette doesn't make sense, but you'll understand. Oh, look at that fancy home. So this home is in Covington, but it should be, you want these towns to match whatever city this is in. And so the thought is search all homes, Since the home is in Lafayette, it should say Lafayette Homes for Sale. And there's probably a price point, and I want you to kind of remember this. There's a price point in the cities where you're selling homes where homes sort of fly off the shelves, right? And if you price it under that price, boom, you've got it in contract in a week or a couple weeks and it's gone. It doesn't sit long on the market. But if you price it over that price, it sits there for months, right? And I don't know what that price is because it's different in every city in the country and sometimes in every neighborhood in the country. But you know what the prices are for your area. And if you do know that, you want this to reflect that, right? So here, if a home is under 500 grand, bang, it's gone, right? If it's above 500 grand, it's going to be hanging out for a while, and that's a different story. So there are a couple of links that you want to have here, and I'm going to do one more on this because just to sort of spell out the point of what you can do with our system. Lead gen links don't sound that awesome, but on average, 20% of people who look at our tools will click a lead generation link. And for some clients, when they put up price points and they really put a couple minutes into creating those links, it will, let's give it a second to refresh. We've got offices getting a 50% click-through rate, right? So that's 1 out of 2 people. And I've been in online advertising even long before we started listings to leads, and I know a fair amount about online advertising. And to tell you that 1 out of 2 people will look at your tools and get to your website, I've never heard of it in any other company. It's a kind of a pain, frankly. This is not something that agents want to do. I don't want to click a button and add links to my property. I just want things to automatically happen, right? And that's great. Automation is awesome, but it does not get consumers to get and click these tools and get to your website. If you just take a couple, maybe a minute, you're going to get a lot of power out of all of our tools, okay? Now, I added that Release Valley one to prove, to kind of point out another point. In Lafayette, which is a gorgeous little town, there's 25,000 people here. Release Valley is a super nice part of town that everybody likes to look at the homes. That's a special part of Lafayette. And I know people like to buy there. And you probably know in the towns where you're selling where people really want to buy homes, and you can create a link that says, that neighborhood and point people to that page, right? Or you could even point them to a landing page that says, for a free list of those homes, fill out here. So that's a long-winded story to talk about the first item, choose the right lead generation links, right? You can also go up here and use lead generation links. There's a lead links and logo page. You can create them here and click this button here, include for all, and that becomes a default for all your listings. You'll notice I have one for Frisco, and I have it chosen for Frisco. And what that is telling the system is, and you should sort of do this in the beginning, is if I have a home that comes in my system, in my account in Frisco, automatically give it this link that says Frisco Homes for Sale and point it to my Frisco page on my website. That's what this is saying. If it's in this city, give it a link with this name and point that link right here, okay? So that I don't have to go in and click the green button and do that. It just automatically gives it that, and it always gives it this link, which is checked included for all, because that's my default link of Search All Homes. And it always gives me Lafayette Homes. These are default links too, which isn't really the case. But what is your home worth is the default link. So that's a little bit kind of deep, boring, not sexy. But boy, it gets a lot of traction when you put some time into it. And when you set it up on this page, it starts automatically happening for all of your listings. So again, inside the mastermind group, there's a video right here that shows you how to do just what I just showed you. So since this is probably all gone over your head, it's right there. So let's see here. I think I got a question. Oh, that's an old question. Okay. So that means that now my property is ready to rock. It's ready to get out there. So let's go to the next item. Share your single property website on major social media. Okay. How do I do that? Now, I know Robin said they've actually helped you a lot in that regard, and they keep an eye on you for that. So that's good. But I want you to recognize the other important platforms. Right underneath the single property website, right underneath your picture and your contact info, are these big social media buttons. Now, the easy thing, and a lot of people just will work right from, we send this tool to you in an email automatically. You can open up the hyperlink and you can just click share, right? Now I'm going to click Facebook, and it's going to open up a version of Facebook, and all you have to do at this point is, say, check out this awesome house, right? Or whatever. And post, and bang, it will be on your Facebook page. But you also want to think about LinkedIn. I don't know if you're on LinkedIn, but it's a professional social media platform. And I have people wanting to connect with me on LinkedIn, and they know me from what I do here, but we don't know each other that well. But most of us, and I have a lot of people who are connected to me on this, that I've worked with in the past, right? Or maybe I went to school with, or maybe they're just personal friends, but they're kind of like my community, but on a professional basis. And you should do the same thing with every listing. Here's a new home in whatever neighborhood, right? Whatever. Say something cool about this so that people see it and recognize there's a real person behind it, and then click share. Now, a lot of our clients do that, and they're coming back and saying, you know what, we're getting listings out of this and we're getting buyers, but just not a lot of people are taking advantage of that. The other one that is worth thinking about is Pinterest. And when you click Pinterest, Pinterest has a whole different format. They want you need to have a pin board. And so you do have to set up the Pinterest account. You have answered this, but can you review whether this is posting to an agent's business page, not their personal page? Great, good question, good question. Let me finish the Pinterest story first. Pinterest is really cool. Let's see if I can click and see here and show this to you. Let's see here, show sign up. Let's see. No, I think it's asking me to log in. Yeah, so I won't go back into that. Here's the thing about Pinterest. It is a photographic, it's a place where people can share their hobbies and ideas and follow other people's. But it also, the format of the platform allows for you to have a hyperlink into it. And when you can have a hyperlink into it, that hyperlink, and the way when you share, we automatically put it there, it allows you to capture leads pretty easily. The number one social media company for referral traffic, which means leads, is Facebook. The number two website in the United States is Pinterest. And not a lot of realtors know that. And then when you look at Twitter and Google and LinkedIn, it's like it just falls off a cliff. The lead gen is small, like really low. So I don't really, I don't think you need to do Twitter and Google. LinkedIn, though, we are hearing a lot of stuff. But the thing about Twitter is, at this point, everybody knows about Twitter, right? So for you to be in real estate and be talking effectively about online marketing, all you have to do is type in something nice about this home and click login and tweet, and it would be done, right? And so it's great to just say, I'm just going to take an extra 2 minutes of this listings marketing time, and I'm going to share to all the major social media platforms that are out there, so that when I'm in a listing presentation, I can say, I put your listing on Twitter, on LinkedIn, on Google+, on YouTube, on Facebook, etc., etc. Not a lot of agents know how to do that. This is how you do it in our platform. You click a little button and you type a little message and you click post. It's not that difficult. Okay? So let's get that question there that we that was asked, is what happens when I click this button here? And let's just click it one more time for Facebook. And I think let's just see how it works here. Yeah. So let's see. Oh, okay. So right here it says, that's me, right? It says share to my timeline. You can also check this and say share on a page you manage, right? And that page you manage, somewhere in there is going to be your business page, all right? And if I go, oh, I want to share it to my listings leads page, and it's going to be your real estate page, right? And say, beautiful new shack for sale, right? That kind of thing. Write something. Please write something. A lot of realtors will. Let's see. They will just post a link, and people just ignore that, and that becomes kind of spammy, and people will start to just turn you off. If you write something nice about the home, people will slow down and look at it. So that just went to my business page, and that's how you affect where it's going. From there, you can always go straight to your business page and boost it if you want to do something like that. Okay, so let's go back to my cheat sheet. We chose the right lead generation links. We got that single property website to Facebook and Pinterest, and then put your branded virtual tour on Zillow and Trulia. And these are for other companies. And that's exactly how we got to this point in the conversation. Remember, I told you, hey, there's a post in our mastermind group, and Andy is saying, I'm getting all kinds of leads, and I'm getting them from Zillow and Trulia, and I'm not a premier agent, right? So how you do that is, let's see here, how you technically do that, I don't actually know, but I think I can help you. Things just slowed down here. Okay. So you grab the virtual tour. Let's just go there again to look at it. And again, we do email the virtual tour to you, but if you lost that email or don't know how to access your email, you can log in and go to Branded Virtual Tours and just copy the link, right? Give it a second. So I don't even have to look at it. I can just click this copy button over here, and it's copied. And then I can go into my listing on Zillow or Trulia, and there's a place where they take virtual tours, and you just paste it in there. There's another interesting thing in that conversation. Let's see if I can pull it up. Give me a second. And this is a little bit of I want to say it's kind of techie. And I know you're not techie. That's just realtors aren't in general. They're not high tech, right? But let's just see if I can find Andy's post again about this. Because one guy who is techie in our group said something that I thought was really interesting, and I know I've heard it for years. And I'm just going to share it with you. He said, you want to do one better? Do not syndicate to Zillow and others for the first 2 weeks. Now, Brendan Rendo, if you look at this guy's name in our system, he is a heavy hitter with business and with lead gen. He's been a client of ours for a long time, and he's a good name to know if you want to learn a lot about us. But the point is, Zillow and Trulia, they're great sites for whatever reasons, but they don't always do a lot of, they're not great for you as an agent, right? Many times, a lot of agents feel like they work against them. And so what Brendan does is he takes all of our tools and he follows all of our steps and he gets everything out all over the place. And you learn about his listings from his own marketing. And then 2 weeks later, he puts it in Zillow and Trulia and gets it to all the other fun sites. That way, all the lead capture is happening for him. Okay, so I think if I go into the tutorials, and I used to do it, but I haven't logged into Zillow and Trulia in forever. If you type in Zillow in our support center, I think there's going to be, lead gen with L2L branded virtual tour. It's actually going to show you step by step how you log into your account, how you edit your listing, and how you put that branded virtual tour in there so that you can get some traffic off of that and get some leads. Then get your auto-generated e-flyer and Facebook ads and call to make sure they're in there. And so you may not know this, and I'm going to take a little bit of time on this one because this is something that agents typically get really confused with that. We have these e-flyers and Facebook ads for every status. This home is coming soon. This home is just listed. This is active, JS for just sold, and under contract. Okay. And every time this status changes, and you change that status by clicking this edit button and taking advantage of the status, every time that changes, we give a different message in the lead capture, right? You can probably imagine, well, you don't even have to imagine. Let's just look at it, right? Let's look at a single property website for coming soon. It says coming soon up here. You're going to have maybe just one photograph that you took with your smartphone for this home. But to follow this home, the automatic page says to, it's coming soon. To continue to tour this home, click here. And that's how you capture a lead on a single property website. What happens when it's just sold? Single property website. Well, the lead capture form has something totally different to say. That's going to affect your home value, right? So the lead capture of all these statuses they're unique. Here's something under contract. They're unique because it's a different, there's the under contract banner, but there's a different value for the consumers that click on something that's open house as opposed to under contract or just sold. So we take advantage of that and we write the ads, or we write the tools to do that at the same time or to take advantage of that. So here is a coming soon flyer. Now we start to email these to you automatically, and I think a lot of agents don't know what in the world this is. So I want you to see what this is, because it does two things. It obviously markets the home, right? Here's single property was. We're not allowed, okay, well, you're not allowed to do coming soon. So let's just say just listed. You're probably allowed to market a home that's just listed. And same sort of thing. There is a flyer for every just listed, and there is a Facebook ad. And this gives you the address. It says it's just listed in bold. It says view the property details here. It's got the stats on the home, and it's got your favored lead generation links. Remember, we talked at length about that. And then it's got your contact info down here at the bottom. But a big important piece of listings to leads is that as much as we want to capture leads, our agents, our clients want referrals. And you'll notice at the top of every e-flyer, there's a message pre-written from the homeowner to their friends. And it says, in this case, dear friends, we've hired Vince at L2L Realty. He's created this to sell our home. Please share this with as many people as you can so we can sell our home faster. This is very novel because I don't know of any other companies that do this. But because this can generate leads, and because it's talking about you and it's designed to go out to the friends and colleagues and family of your clients, this is designed to help you get referrals. Okay, so every time there's a just listed e-flyer and it goes in your mailbox automatically, you also get a just listed Facebook ad. And we're going to rewrite this pretty soon. We're about to relaunch everything, and I'm going to rewrite this because it looks horrible. But I do need you to understand what all you need to know is get the material between the red lines to your client via email and call them and say, hey, could you copy that and paste that on your wall? Okay. Client, could you just go to your wall and say, hey, just put that up on yours. So let's just do that real quick. And this is different from you sharing your single property website, because when you share it with when you share a single property website out there, things are going slow. Let's be patient. That's just you talking to your friends and family. Okay. This is your client talking about you and their home. Okay. And you can see our home just listed, Vince at L2L Realty. Check it out, leave a comment. So now all of their friends, which there's usually a couple hundred, 300, 500 friends, their family, their colleagues, their parents of the kids that their kids go to school with, they now see that your home is for sale and that they are working with you. And that's an important thing for referrals. I know that, you're probably familiar with leaving some nice cutlery behind a transaction and hope that you get some business out of that. And that's super cool. And you can keep doing that. But since 70% of adults spend 40 minutes a day on Facebook, this is a great way to get your name in front of a lot of people who could be your potential clients. And then if you click that, it opens up the single property website, and that is all about capturing leads for you. Okay. So these tools show up automatically in your mailbox, and in my message, it says, get the tools to your client and call them to make sure they forward and post the tools. Okay. So they show up in your mailbox, just forward them to your client. I would maybe clean them up and make it very simple so they don't have to think too much. And then I would call them for 5 seconds to say, hey, dear homeowner, I just sent you a couple tools. If you could forward that e-flyer and you could, put that on your Facebook wall, that would just help us get more exposure and get a better price and sell faster, right? And that's great stuff because as you can see, there are multiple examples of e-flyers. We have an e-flyer for the open house. We have an e-flyer for just listed. We have an e-flyer for pending or under contract, and we have one for just sold. And every time it's talking about you. So again, to that sort of story of you're going to leave some cutlery behind, I don't know who's going to see that cutlery. Maybe somebody on Thanksgiving or a birthday, if they actually pull out the knife of your client and cut some cake for them. But in our world, people are going to see your name, hundreds of people are going to see it because you use these flyers in these Facebook. So let's look at the Facebook ad for just sold and get an idea of what that's about, right? This is the one that usually it starts to sink in for people. Again, this is not going on your business page. It's not going on your personal page. You're copying what's between the red lines and you are sending it to your client, probably via email, and you're saying, hey, client, would you put that on your wall? Right. And let's look at it. Let's look at what it says when it's just sold. It says, our home just sold, and we want to recommend Vince at L2L Realty. He can help you buy or sell a home, let you know what your home is worth in this market. Here's his name and phone number. That is essentially a pre-written testimonial designed for Facebook. And if that client, if the homeowner that you just sold a home for puts it on their wall, all their family and all their friends that they're sharing cat pics and pictures of their kids with, they're going to see that they recommend working with you. Okay? And then of course, what happens when I click that? What happens when their friends click that ad on Facebook? The single property website pops up. It's got all your fancy lead generation links that can help you capture leads on your website. And then there's going to be a little page that pops up automatically that says, hey, that home sold and that's going to affect your home value. Get your home value here, right? And that is the whole point of listings to leads. If you're going to be doing anything on the internet, use our tools because there are a lot of ways to capture leads, right? Here it's saying we've got your valuation, give me your contact information. You probably know this form. Hopefully you know that we have this. This is all part of your account. We're going to give them an instant valuation, and you, the real estate agent, are going to get their name, email, and the address and the valuation that they're looking at, okay? And that's just one of the many tools inside of our system that you now have access to. So can you show where to change the required information? What does that mean? Oh, if you go to, there's a couple different ways. I think one thing, we're about to change this. We're about to go with some, update this on March 15th. But for your listings, and let's see what happens. Let me refresh this real quickly and see what happens. And I'll refresh this one in case it's kind of different. And I'll refresh this one. I know what you're asking. I just want to, I will answer. I just want to see what's what. So this page here, get the closing price. This is under contract, so that's not a good one because it really is more useful when it's for sale. That's just sold. So that'll work. Coming soon. Okay, coming soon works. Now I know you can't do coming soon, so let's do just listed. Click edit for this property that's just listed. And there are a couple of things that are really important. And they're, of course, since they're important, we hide them at the bottom, right? Which makes no sense, but that's just how it is for today. There's a bunch of checkboxes at the bottom here. One of them says, follow this home, forced registration, not closable without filling out. And the other one, it says add a phone field and make a phone required or not required. So this property is Covington. What's the address there? Let's go look at that. Let's just, before we change it, let's look at that together. Because I think this is a big thing. A lot of agents like this and a lot of agents don't like this, and it's a good question to ask. When you look at a single property website, a lead capture page is automatically going to pop up in like 3 to 5 seconds. In this case, it looks like this. And there's no way for you to close this, the consumer to close this. This is the default. This is what happens. So if they want to look at it, all they got to do is click continue with Facebook. And that little thing there reaches into Facebook and gets their email address. And then it says phone number. And if I click see details now, it says please fill out this field. This is the default setting, and I'm going to have to now put in my phone number, which I don't know if you know this, but giving your phone number away on the internet is, man, it's close to taking one of your fingers off. People do not like to do that. In this case, I'm the agent, so I'm not worried about giving you my phone number. But now that I've given my name and email and my phone number, I can now go back to the website. It's going to say thank you, and now I can look at that and now I'm looking at it. That is, for some agents, they like that. And for other agents, they don't, because they can see it shooting their lead gen in the foot. So that is the property on Rainbow Drive. Let's click edit. And let's now look at that and go, okay, now what in the world is Vince talking about? Follow this home is forced. And I don't think you should have it forced. And then I also don't think you should have a phone number required. You can have the phone number there, or you can remove it and just not even have the phone field, but it's okay to leave it there. But just, I don't think you should have it required. And so let's save that there. And let's refresh this page. Now when we refresh this page, it looks the same. But the lead capture, sorry, it's kind of doing some funny stuff. The lead capture is slightly different. There's a little X here, and I can close this. I don't have to give you my contact information. I can just go here. And it might be beneficial, especially if you have a good website and you want people to go to your other landing pages or links on your website. That might be good. And then if they really want to follow this, they can just click here, or they can always click over here on schedule a showing. And then that just allows them to get the, schedule a showing with you. That's how you kind of manipulate that. And I do think it's worth thinking about. Getting a lot of emails from a lot of buyers and having, a database of people who want to buy homes at certain price points can help your business. So, but whenever you add to require a phone number, and again, let's kind of look at where you do that. Whenever you do that, and I only have about 10 years of experience doing this, it probably cuts lead generation by 90% to 95%. So you can make your decision based on that. And you can go verify that number somewhere else if you'd like. But literally to have 90% of your leads walk away or 95% walk away because you required a phone number, that's a tough call. And you can make that decision and save it right here. Okay. Do you have, yeah, so that's a good question too. You can set the timer here. And this is saying about 10 seconds, but I think, 15 seconds, even 30 seconds. Let's just, what that means is if you change it to 15 seconds, when I look at this page, I got 15 seconds before the lead capture form pops up. And that gives me a little bit of time, right? When we go to, there's a similar thought in terms of if you have lead capture in a website. Some websites do and some don't. And if when you land on a website and you say you got to register before you can do anything, you lose a ton of leads. If you let people look at 3 or 5 or 10 listings and then say, please register, continue, you can get a whole lot more leads. And that similar kind of concept is here. If you let them look around and go, oh, I'm interested in the photos and I am interested in the schools, right? Because now I've got a little time to think about this. And then you say, okay, now give me your contact info. You've got a higher chance because you've got just a few more seconds to buy into the information you're presenting, okay? So the last thing it says on my cheat sheet is post to Craigslist. And a lot of people know about Craigslist and a lot of agents don't. And a lot of agents used to know it was a #1 place for capturing leads on Craigslist. And then Craigslist changed their website and made it almost impossible for agents. And I'd say 95% of real estate agents, or 90, maybe 90, left Craigslist. Okay. And let's see if I can top sites, Alexa. Yeah. So what that means is all your competition left Craigslist. Okay. But Craigslist is actually down here where it's still got, it's number 17 in traffic. So it's still a high, a place, Netflix is higher. So that has nothing to do with real estate and eBay and things like that. But for people that are looking to buy things, there's a lot of people spending time here all across the country. So it's wise to be there. And there is a button to help you get right to Craigslist. Click that. This is actually, when you click this button, there's a link that says click here to see how it works. And what that's going to do is it's going to tell you to take this app here. Notice when I take my mouse, hold on it, and I get on it, I can drag it. I don't know if you can see it turns into a gray bar. And then I can drop it right on my bookmark bar. If you don't have a bookmark bar, you got to start by getting your bookmark bar showing. And then at that point, it looks like this. And it will show all of your listings. And so you open up Craigslist and you just copy and paste and fill in the fields on Craigslist. And that's how you do it. We've got clients that are generating leads there all the time, and it's free. And since your competition walked away, it's worth thinking about. So a couple of other things. This is Alexa, which ranks top websites. And I just want you to kind of understand that Google is #1. Okay. YouTube is #2. We auto upload your virtual tours to YouTube. And because Google owns YouTube, your virtual tours on YouTube almost are always on page 1 of Google. So when you're selling a home, homeowners are, many will want to check out on what you're doing. They're going to go to the internet and search on their address. And if your home is up on YouTube, it's very likely going to be on Google page 1. So what we're looking at here is that we've talked a lot about Facebook, but you will likely be on Google. You'll be on the top websites. Page 1 of Google. You will be on YouTube, #2 website in the country. You will be on Facebook, #3 website in the country. I showed you how to get to Twitter, which is #8. Instagram, if you're posting an ad to Facebook, and it's you have the option to push it to Instagram. And LinkedIn, I showed you how to get to LinkedIn, and then we were just talking about Craigslist. So these are a lot of the top websites that have a lot of traffic that you can get to pretty easily with our platform. And that is great in a listing presentation. So guys, that was me running on for about an hour. Are there any questions? You suggested shortening their valuation page URL and doing the link in bio on Instagram. Oh, that's a cool idea. Let me know if that works. That is a great idea. Yeah. Is it working? Are you getting leads out of that? That is awesome. Yeah, boy, you know, because I can tell you, Instagram is a very popular platform. It was so popular that Facebook bought it. But I'm not seeing a ton of lead gen happening there. I'm sure you follow the real estate conferences and the magazines, and there's always these kind of celebrity realtors around, and they say, "Oh, I did all this on, I do a bunch on Twitter, and I get up in the morning, I'm on Twitter, and afternoon, I'm on Twitter, in the evening," and that is all fun stuff. But we have a lot of clients, and we really focus on what we know works. So if you join our mastermind group, and that's a plug, that's a straight up plug for you to join our mastermind group, you're going to see our clients every day asking questions and saying, "Hey, I did this and I got all kinds of leads." Okay. What I have not, yeah. And here's somebody saying, "Hey, I got my email signature figured out." I didn't mention that, but there's an actual email signature inside of our system. And if you'll notice, there's a really fancy lead generation link. So you can snap that into your email and you can have it say whatever you want it to say there. Get your home value, etc. Let's click here and see if I can actually get there. I'm glad we came in here and looked at it, because if I had to do a comparison of how many leads I'm going to get off of Instagram or how many leads I'm going to get by embedding this signature bar with my favorite lead generation links in my email, so that every time I send out an email, I'm gonna tell you that this signature bar is going to outperform. But I love that idea, and I'm on Instagram, and we're listening to our clients talk about what's working for them, and I'm not hearing a lot about that. So if you find a way to crack that, you got to let me know what's going on. The number one place is Facebook online. I'm hearing a lot about LinkedIn. What's that? Oh, it costs money. Is that what you're saying? It costs money to be on Facebook? Yeah, not always. Not always. If you don't know this, okay, I'm going to just leave you with one thought. And actually, this place, marketplace. Write down this word, get in our mastermind group, and go in this box and type in marketplace. Marketplace, Facebook has an area called the marketplace. It's like the big online garage sale, right? And that is a free place to run ads, and people are getting a ton of messages. So that the responses come in your chat panel, right? So if you're writing a message, you got all of your friends talking to you here. The responses come in here, and we've got clients here, and this isn't it. Here's Tina. I woke up with 13 messages in my mailbox today. I did it today. I got 29 messages, 6 appointments, 2 clients. Sorry, that's not where I wanted to go. The messenger or the marketplace is something very new. I thought I sent something to you, and it's a little bit techy. Not terribly techy, but just to learn it, it's a little bit tricky. So here's a great one here. It came in a couple weeks ago from the marketplace, and I want you to understand why you need to learn about the marketplace. And look for this lady's name here. They start conversations. We've been talking about online lead generation and capturing emails and ideally phone numbers. That's what we've been talking about. When you put an ad in the marketplace, which is free, and this lady put 2, she did a just listed and she did an open house. She's got 107 conversations going on in her messenger from 107 people for 2 ads. No money. That's free. Okay. That is powerful technology. We talk about that all the time, and it is a big topic. So if you search marketplace, you're going to learn a lot. And one of the great things that actually, it's stop renting and start owning marketplace ads. I think if you go to our file section, one of our clients was so awesome that they actually put in there home buyer class, stop renting swipe file. Yeah. So they're putting information in here to help you write your ads and help you with follow-up. So that's where you're going to find my cheat sheet. But that's also, there's a lot of helpful stuff here being shared by our clients just to help you get more leads. So guys, that's my story today. Are there any other questions? Okay, I'm going to leave you with one point. I said it earlier. Our clients that are using our platform are generating hundreds of leads every month. Usually a good mix of buyers and sellers. And so there's 2 types of clients. There's clients that use our tools, and there are clients who pay for our tools and don't use our tools. If you want hundreds of leads every month, use the tools. Okay? I'll get this recording up online for you. Thanks for your questions and thanks for your time. Let us know, obviously, contact support. The easiest way to get answers is to put your question right here. I know you would think that calling a number would be easy or leaving a message over here would be easy. It's actually a little more frustrating. All of our support team watches this mail group. So if you got a question, put it right here. You'll get the answers fastest there. Thanks so much, everybody. Good luck. Use the platform. It'll help grow your business. And we got get in our mastermind group. You're going to see how many leads people are generating. You should be one of those people.